smell the incense, and the dead will rise and smell the incense. Yes, arise and come forth. Amen. Greetings, good morning. I'm going to do the reading, a different reading, because there's a different part of this desert-demony reading that I've seemed to have missed, and I've found it by God's grace. I'm going to read it because it's another part of self-examination. When you go through the scrutinies that we will call as a Catholic, you examine yourself with the help of all the gods, okay? You depend on the powers of the gods and on yourself. You work together. Self-examination, confrontation, scrutiny, genuflection, and then you reflect and you look up to the gods and ask for help. What? And these are the questions you ask, okay? Look at this. And what crime have I committed? What unknown God have I transgressed? What forbidden thing have I eaten? These are the questions you have to ask the gods, because what? Maybe you did. See, a self-righteous person is going to take this probably and just seal their self-righteousness forever, okay? If you're overly critical and damning of yourself, you're going to use it that way. It's meant to bring you out of that stuff to give you balance, okay? So you're neither one or the other, okay? It's meant to get you a balanced view and to challenge yourself, but also not to make you self-righteous so that you're sitting there crying the blues when you feel you're innocent. But then when you're told what you're doing wrong to fix things, you just walk away. Or you say, I don't know, or I will, and then you don't do it, okay? And what crime have I committed? What unknown God have I transgressed? What forbidden thing have I eaten? What forbidden thing have I drunk? My suffering, it is 7. It is 7 times 7. O God, do not cast thy servant down. Now, this is the kind of thing, this is the first time I've prayed this prayer, okay? I've done the first part of the Desdemonia, but I've never done this. I mean, this is very prolific. If I did it maybe a long time ago, but very prolific statement, because you have to challenge yourself in terms of why things aren't going my way. Sometimes things don't go your way because you're good, you're better, and people hate you. Jesus wasn't crucified because he had done something wrong. You have to remember that. And as humans that are not quite perfect like him, but not quite perfect, all completely evil, and some are, it's going to be a mixed bag. So you can't just make sweeping judgments even about yourself. You have to examine. In the end, it's something that only you and the gods are going to be able to really give an accurate judgment about, okay? In self-examination, at some points, it's way too consuming for you to be trying to run around and tell other people stuff too. A lot of times you really have to, when you judge yourself and you get mess out of your life, you can see clearly the fix in others. And that's what he said about the mote and the log and the speck. You know, it's real. It's real. When you keep yourself clear of a certain sin, then it's easy for you to discuss it. And when you literally make up your mind not to walk in filth and practice evil and be discerning, it's easier to see it going around. And many times just to keep you out of trouble. And when you love people, you at least speak up. You know, you don't, if you love people, if you're any kind of human being, you don't just sit around in this world full of sin and keep your mouth shut all the time. That's meant you're an enabler. You're enabling evil in the planet. Being quiet is being an enabler. Pretending that it's not upsetting to you, and well, then you're saying it's not evil. Once again, these are the problems I feel this human race has. We don't act bothered about sin. We don't act like wrong is wrong until it's in our backyard and someone burns our barley field. Wrong isn't wrong. You act like sin is wholly other unless you're getting victimized by it. That's why we get victimized. It's the karma. When you act like when someone wrongs someone else, that it's not wrong. Wrong is just wrong. When something's wrong, it's just wrong. And that's a problem with our planet. It's a statement of hatred. The dissonance. When you act like the F you hooray for me, well, if somebody did something wrong and they're innocent, you know, what are you talking? Well, then you don't know the difference between the two. What's the difference between doing something wrong and being innocent? Also, I want to deal with this. Chauvinism, the crux, core, deep statement of the word. To put on a show and be vain. Okay? Putting on a show and being vain. Okay? This is the issue of what? When men perform in front of women and turn this world into a performance for the good old boys, and the women are just props and toys and pieces they use in their performance because they want to show off and be vain before the boys, but you got a girl. But your woman is all just you showing off and being vain before men that hate women. This is what this world's built out of. Colin Jost is only with Scarlett because he's showing off and being vain. Okay? That's all he's doing. Too many of you guys are with women. You're not even straight. A lot of you guys aren't sexual. You go elsewhere to feast on your perverse appetites. But you're chauvinists. You're only with the women because you're showing off and you're being vain. but you don't care about them. Colin Jost shows it very clearly because he shows her no real love. He is only with her because he's hiding behind her beauty because he's so fucking ugly. Okay? And ugly as fuck. And she's so the opposite, so goddamn pretty. She is so damn pretty, core inside and out. So he's just hiding behind her. It's his way of showing off and being vain. As if he's trying to use up her prettiness to hide her ugliness. Colin, it's not going to work. Okay? You about the ugliest as all hell person from inside and out to the core in the universe forever, okay? And she's the opposite. Forget about it. It's just going to simply show the contrast. Being with her is going to show how ugly you are and how pretty she is, okay? You basically cursed the shit out of yourself. You would have been better off to just go hide, okay? The fucking slug wants to stand around with the hope diamond and hide behind it. It's not going to happen, pal. She's just going to shine and it's just going to show what a shitball you are, okay? You're a stupid motherfucker. You'd have been better off just staying under the rock. You need to go hide back under the rock it came from, pal. Because it's not going to work, buddy. It's not going to work. And once again, the showing off and being vain isn't going to help. Okay? This is what you women really need to line up in you men. We need to stop tolerating this chauvinism, this Chauvanityism, okay? Especially the problem with chauvinism, it's done at the expense of the woman's honor. It's constantly done at the expense of doing what you should do for the woman. It's done at the expense of the woman's dignity, flesh, dominion. Okay? This is the problems with chauvinism. That's why it's hated by all the gods. And the fact that we live in a world where y'all believe in a god that's not female shows you that chauvinism took over our planet. That y'all refuse to acknowledge Ishtar because y'all been brainwashed by the chauvinists. The chauvinists rule your planet. Okay? So they then redone religion and spirituality and took away gods, okay, and played three-card Molly with spirituality they have no right to play. And guess what? Every one of these gods that y'all have chosen to dishonor will all condemn you. When you reject one, all the male and female gods are going to come after you at the same time, okay? And they're going to expect everything to the last farthing. The curse and the hex is doomed because y'all turned this planet into chauvinism, a show of vanity. Okay, a show of vanity at the female's direct expense. And your karma is this, that the female will gain all her honor back in this time at your direct expense. I'll swear to fuck to God. All of you men and women who really sold out, who take part in this chauvinism of this pleasant world, in this present world, you are not going to escape. Okay? You will basically be paid back with the Ichabod and disgrace for all the glory you got at the woman's expense. It's a hex and curse. Okay? It's for better and for worse. You're married to it, okay? You're not going to be able to kill it, and you can't get away from it, and you can't love it. It's just like you call the wives. Your curse is just like your wives you make her out to be. You can't kill it, and you can't love it, okay? That's sex on you, Colin Jost, and all you chauvinistic men that just get with women because you want to put on a show and be vain, okay? It's called chauvinism, okay? But the woman is one you don't give a flying fuck about because it's all about me. I just got to have the glory, okay? So I just basically pretend like I'm the woman, okay? See, don't look at how ugly as fucking creepy I am, right, Colin Jost? Just look at how beautiful Scarlett Johansson. See, look what I got. Really? The slug wants to glory because he's walking around with a hoop diamond that don't belong to him. Really? Come on, man. I'm curse you. It's just going to show how fucking ugly you are, okay, and how pretty she is, okay? And that goes for all you chauvinistic men. And you women are stupid enough to promote it too, for you too, okay? This planet is going to get a hex and a curse, a blessing and a curse, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, okay? In sickness and in health, I swear to fuck to God, this whole planet and everyone who tolerates the chauvinism will pay for the vain show, and you women will gain their glory and honor back, and all of you chauvinists, direct expense, I swear to fuck to God, you will reap what the fuck you sow. Every fucking one of you show off vain men, okay? And then you want to try to tell me I'm the problem. Fuck you. You're cursed forever, and every man that does that is cursed forever, okay? Because you want to be chauvinist rather than honoring the woman. You just use her as a tool of chauvinism and sacrifice her on an absolute basis, okay? And then try to tell me I'm the person. Hypocritical liars dominating our planet. Hypocritical liars rule our planet, and it's going to end very disgracefully for all you chauvinists, okay? The gods are going to get you all back, and the women have cursed you all because you have sacrificed their honor, but then want to show them off in a vain way as if they really something to you, when they're just an extension of your bloated, rotted ego, and have them live out just some kind of vicarious, creepy life. Okay, and you act like it's all the cloud of God, and this planet is under the mist of darkness. And y'all just keep swearing that we're under the cloud of God. You're under the mist and gloom of the darkness of showy vainism. Showy vain men, okay? Showy vain men that got nothing to show, so just say it's the woman. In the end, it'll be that way, and you're going to be shown as the Ichabod disgraces, open disgraces, red skulls, okay? Everlasting shame and contempt in this life for all you chauvinists, because y'all want to rule the planet, okay, and do it directly at the woman's expense and trample the body and blood and dignity, dominion, flesh, and honor of the female underfoot. It's a hex and a curse, blessing and a curse on every one of you that tolerate this chauvinism. It will never be forgiven. It will be prepaid cork for cork. As the scripture says, you will be paid back in this life by your own karma. It is your fate. It is your destiny. It is inevitable. It is God here. It is your almighty Thanos, okay? And I say to all you showy, vain men who sacrifice women's honor like Colin Jost does, Scarlett Johansson's, you are all now children of Thanos. That's right, Colin Jost. You are all now children of Thanos, and all of you showy, vain men. That's right. Your sacrifice is greatly appreciated, okay? It's a hex and a curse. And just like those men all suffered the payment, and it wasn't at my hand, so shall it be. I had nothing to do with what went on in the movies. I have nothing to do with the death of all you creepy, showy, vain men, okay? You'll probably die at the hand of the same showy, vain men you try to perform for, which is always the way it ends up, as if they're really worth all that. Performing for the fucking creeps and the bums, the scuzzballs. You want to put on a show for scumbags, creeps, and scuzzballs and sacrifice the beautiful women because it shows y'all don't really want them. Y'all need to just go away with your creepy men. Because you're really just Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? You just want to rape each other in broad daylight. So just leave the women alone and just go ahead and do it and leave everybody else alone, okay? Because that's really what you, Colin, and all you other showy, vain men really want to do, okay? So for going forward, I curse you to all have to lose the women. And may the women become fully aware of they're only here to be off on your showy, vain show as an extension of your vicarious, creepy, vain life of egotism. And they can all ditch y'all like the creeps you are and walk away, okay? God bless all you women, okay? But you men that put up the chauvinism and tolerate it, fuck all y'all, okay?